Welcome to JJ with Joy. Today I'm going to be working on these cute little dangles, and the digital kit is from Sweet Pea Curiosities. So I have put just on the back of this just a little bit of book page and stamped on it a couple buttons and a couple different little chains, and then I also have a flower. Thought about I probably should have put a key after I did it, but I already had them put together. So I'm just going to be assembling them. I did get these, and I also got these little jump rings off of Temu. The jump rings have just a little split between them. So normally on a jump ring you would twist it like this to avoid, you never pull it apart like this, okay? But they're a little bit farther apart, so I'm using 2 pair of pliers to do this. So anyway, let's get into these. I am using these from Temu, and they fit a 1 3/8 inch circle, just almost perfect. Now I noticed that some of them are perfect and some of them have a little extra space, so you know, go figure. Of course now I can't get it out. So you have to, I did go ahead and ink in between these to make them easier. I'm using Tim Holtz's Bulldog clips, and that's about it, I think. So if you haven't been in when I'm doing my Did You Know series, what I do is, now I should make one of these from scratch. I noticed I missed one when I was making it, so let's start there first of all. I'm going to add 2 pieces of chain. I did get this chain from Temu as well, and it's just a 4mm chain. So 4mm by 3 if it asks. One of them asked it, one of them didn't. At least that's what I think. So I think this is pretty close to what I want. Let me get my other tweezers on here. Oh, gotta make sure I'm in frame. I might need to move y'all forward a little smidge. I make sure those get in the trash. Let me scoot you guys toward me just a bit. I don't want to get crazy, but okay, so I have 1 chain. Oh, I didn't get my flower. I'll have to add that later. And then I'm making one just a little bit longer and one a little bit shorter. So when you're measuring them out, just kind of gather it in a certain place and call it good, okay? And I am holding on to it with my fingers away. That way I know where it's at, where the broken one, because I was doing that and I couldn't figure out which one was which. So make sure that you know which one's which. There you go. Clip that off. Now I'm done with that. I'm just going to add a jump ring to both ends. These came on these, so that was a set when I bought them, so just so you know. Now, if you don't know about the Did You Know series, what I do is I find random subjects and I just talk about things on the internet. You know, things I think might interest you. So today I'm going to be talking about New Year's Day. So the first little thing is, you know that New Year's Day, they always have on TV, well, New Year's Eve, they have the countdown. Let's see if I can get my big fingers out of the way to get this in there. Is that going to go through? Yes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stick this on here. These are too fat. I need to use the skinny ones for some of this, and there we go. And you want to make sure that you always turn when you're putting your jump rings. That's this little ring here. You want to make sure you make them twist. You don't ever pull them apart to do this. All right. So New Year's Eve, over 50 tons of trash are left in Times Square after the new year. I have a little bag of buttons here. Let's put, I think this was the longer chain, so I'm putting a bigger button on the longer chain and a littler one on the little ones. There we go. That's a lot of trash, a lot of confetti. 3,000 pounds of that is confetti. So 3,000 pounds of confetti, 50 tons of trash. Wow. Wouldn't want you to be a... Let's see, is this the long one? This is the long one. Okay, I'm going to put a little one on the short one. And I don't care if they're 4-hole or 3-hole. It doesn't matter to me. There we go. Again, we're twisting like so. Twisting apart. And since I pulled that one a little farther apart, I'm going to drop it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop it. It doesn't matter. One needs to go on one end and one needs to go on the other end. And there we go. Hope I'm close enough that you guys can really see this process. Oop, it wants to come out, and it did. Of course it did. Sorry. Jewelry, messing with chains and jewelry kind of gets my hands, the arthritis in my hands triggered. So I did these last night trying to get ahead of the, I'm going to be gone, so I'm pre-recording and trying to do things that are not Christmas, because by the time you see this, Christmas will be over. There. All right, one more jump ring to attach that to that. And then I'll have to get another charm to put on it, which I have, but they're over there. You guys are getting the idea of what I'm doing anyway. Let's put this end on first. Okay, the confetti in Times Square has thousands of people's wishes on it. Did you guys know this? I didn't until I read this. I may have known it and forgot it. I don't know. But in 2015, excuse me, they started doing wish-fetti, you know, confetti with wishes on it. And when they started doing that, they became a part of the tradition. So people write down their wishes for the new year, and then they submit them to the wish wall in Times Square or online, one of the two. That needs to twist just a little further. Hold on. I've had coffee, and so I'm a little bit shaky, guys. Sorry about that. I'm trying to keep my shaky down, but it don't want to be. All right, I'm setting this one aside. Oh, the bigger one's on the top. Oh, well. I'm setting that one aside because it needs a charm for later. And then we're going to move on to this process. Now, I started this video once already, but my cat misbehaved and I had to start over. So I'm going to finish with this. This one, I took the guy's head off. So I'm not going to use that, but I'm not going to waste this. So I am just going to, so when you're cutting your images, make sure you don't have a small something like a head. I should have moved that down just a little bit. This is 1 3/8 inch punch that I used. These came from Temu. And they do come with the, you know, this ring already attached. They come kind of like that. So, anyway, let's see. It is considered. Let's do this again. Woo, look how crazy that is. All right, I'm going to smooth that out before I put this on. And I'm going to lay it down to make sure I'm doing it straight up and down on there. And that glue will come off of the it comes off of the metal. If you can't get it off, just wet it a smidge and it'll come right off. Okay, it's considered good luck in Rio de Janeiro to make 7 wishes while jumping 7 waves. So, good party there. Always got a good party going on somewhere on New Year's Eve, don't they? You also can peel this off with your finger easily. You see how that glue just pops off of there. This is a 1/8 inch or a 0.3 centimeter that I'm using to punch the hole out. And as you see, I mark everything. Hold on, let me... So they celebrate different things different ways, and I wrote down some of them. I didn't like drag on all of them, you know, so you can see what all they do everywhere. Oops. Come on, get off of there. If you want, you can put your little pokey tool down in there to kind of smooth that out a little bit. And I'm just going to pull from my pile over here. When you're adding this onto this, make sure your charms are in the front. Make sure your charms are, if you have one that's one-sided, like this flower, if you can see, it's only one-sided. On the back, it's not. So make sure that it's facing the proper way when you put this on. Now I have these little tweezers that have an extra little pinchy thing. These are actually made for separating jump rings. They sell those on Temu as well. Don't they sell everything there? I think they do. I don't know. Anyway, hang on. I don't got any grip in that hand, so let's try this. Oh, it's in. I just got to twist it. All right, so when you're putting your bulldog clip on as well, you have to have another jump ring, but you want to make sure that you're putting it on the back side, not on the front. You don't want these flipped over and put your bulldog, because otherwise it's going to hang like this. I guess if that's the way you want it, then you should do it that way, but I wouldn't. So there you go. All right, it is considered good luck. Oh, I already said that. In Denmark, the Danes hold a tradition of throwing plates at the front door of their family and friends' home to welcome good fortune for the new year. That seemed a bit wasteful to me. Maybe that's just me. This does need to be spread apart just a little further to get it around this hook here. And then we're going to hook it. Of course, I should be holding on to this part and then hooking it. Okay, those are in front. That's in front. There we go. Let me hold my breath. Maybe that would help. What do you think? And these, make sure that you're together. I just kind of go back and forth until they're together to make sure that you aren't, you don't want to lose your charms off of there. There we go. Da, 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 da. Nice. Okay, we'll start the next one from the beginning as far as putting this together. Now, I put book page on here, and I am putting it upside down, and I stamped these correctly because I'm using these upside down. That's what I'm doing. This isn't intended to be read. Make sure that you pay attention to what you're putting on there as well, because if you're putting something on there that's naughty, then you're probably going to be sorry you did. All right, we're going to set this down and put this right in. Some of them fit perfect and some of them don't. So just know that when you're doing it, that they might be off a little bit. So you might judge your picture first. There we go. And then we're going to put have a little cowboy guy here. And see, he's going to be, his is a little bit shorter on this side. Now, isn't that weird? Because I punched the same punch with that punch and that punch. So this side must just be, the metal's off a little bit. So kind of judge that first before you do that to make sure that you don't have a mess. And then that way you also know where to put your glue. Now, I can kind of smear this out of the middle there so it's not so it doesn't make a clumpity-mumpity mess. You know, I don't like clumpity-mumpity messes. All right. So ABC's New Year's Rockin' Eve show is a long-standing tradition, and Dick Clark began hosting it in 1974. In December of 2004, Dick Clark suffered a stroke, and Regis Philbin stepped in at the last minute to host it. And then in 2005, Clark officially handed over hosting duties to Ryan Seacrest. That was a sad day when poor Dick got ill. Okay, you can peel that off with your fingernail just so you don't have the glue hanging out. You can take this, go around to make sure, get rid of that. That looks good. And these are going to go on the front. The flower don't really go with the cowboy. I might switch that out for something else. I don't know. I just was thinking a flower kind of went with everything. I mean, a cowboy would certainly run into flowers out in the West, wouldn't they? Let me get closer to the edge here. Come on. You can go in there. Don't tear my project up. There. There we go. Okay, nearly, you guys, let me know if you do New Year's resolutions. I'm really curious about that because I used to do them years ago, and I haven't done them in quite a few years. And this may be why. I'm curious if you guys do resolutions and if you follow through. So nearly 80% of New Year's resolutions made at the beginning of the year are forgotten by February. That's all those, diet things, don't you think? Okay, make sure it's on the back. Add that. Add your hooky. Hooky. Let's see. Can you get in there? There we go. I hope there's enough light and I'm staying in frame. I'm trying to watch, but, it's hard. Is it together? Looks together to me. Another one finished. Looks good. Okay, the Gregorian calendar. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know. You know me. I'm not a English professor, so we're going to do this. The Gregorian calendar was introduced in October of 1582 by Pope Gregory XIII as a revised version of the Julian calendar. It took almost 350 years for the world to get on board, and Turkey didn't even make the switch until 1927. Wow. That's crazy, isn't it? Especially if the rest of the world did. Okay, and the reason that January is called January is actually kind of deep. Oh, am I going to have this little guy? Hold on. Nope, I'm going to move his head to the side, but he will work. Excuse me. Okay, it has widely been reported that the month January was named for the Roman god Janus. I hope Janus, but it's actually rooted in the Latin word Awana, which means door. That's I-A-N-U-A. The name was chosen to symbolize the opening of a door that happens when the new year begins. And I'm going to smush that around so it doesn't have perfectness. Doesn't show the lines. That's a little trick to do. Oh, make sure that guy's head's not where that is. There we go. Rub it down in there. Okay, Robert Burns took a Scottish folk song that was called Auld Lang Syne and put his own spin on it in 1788, which is the version that we all know today. Auld Lang Syne means times long past. When I was little, I remember I couldn't even pronounce that, and I'm like, what are they saying? Kind of funny. Okay, I need to flip this around so that is on that side. And there they are. I have to find my tweezers. Yep. It would help if these would split just a little further. There we go. There we go. All right, let me turn the page. I'll do this side over here first. Black-eyed peas. How many of you guys have black-eyed peas? Let me know. That was a thing for my aunt that definitely, my mom, my aunt, everybody in the family believed that you had to have the new black-eyed peas. I don't know if it's a southern thing, but here it says that they're a symbol of wealth. Not wealth. The fattiness of the pork symbolizes wealth, and the peas are believed to bring good fortune because they swell when they're cooked, which is why they're both popular foods to eat on New Year's Eve. Now, we always had to have them on New Year's Day, so I don't know where they got their information, but we always, maybe, you know what? Actually, they did cook them on New Year's Eve, now that I'm thinking about it, because my mother was very superstitious. You did not cook on New Year's Day. That was considered bad luck, too. So, but, all right, stay away from lobster and chicken because they are both considered bad luck foods. And here's why. According to the superstition, it is because of a lobster's ability to move backward and a chicken's ability to scratch itself backwards. So if you eat either of those on New Year's, you won't be able to move forward. Isn't that interesting? And I have never seen a chicken. I didn't know that they or had ability to scratch themselves backwards, so that was news to me. I have a friend that has chickens, and so anyway, I thought that was interesting. There we go. Incorporating a round food such as donuts or bagels into your New Year. I have put NY so I wouldn't have to write it so much. That's funny. Your New Year's meal symbolizes that the year has come full circle. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's get that off. A little bit of glue. Okay. Now, just a little bit more here. Long before it was used on New Year's Eve, a ball on top of England's Royal Observatory in Greenwich was dropped at 1 p.m. every day starting in 1833. To help ship captains coordinate their navigation equipment. Similar balls were set up in coastal areas around the world. Okay. Let's do this one. Is it hanging right? Yes. I think these are cute. Very, very cute. The first New Year's party was thrown for a newspaper. I didn't know this either. I thought this was interesting. Oops. Hold on. Let's get this on, and then I'll tell you all about it. If I can get this to cooperate here. Okay. Is it hanging right? Yes. So, the annual tradition of gathering in Times Square for New York started as a party to celebrate the opening of the New York Times building in 1904. Over 200,000 people attended. I didn't know that. You never think about things. I never thought about it, actually. So, you know, there's that. You know, I should be trying these first because some of these, I'll go back and do that, don't always work so whoopie-doopie. Well, dang it, I did it again. I got to have this on the back side while I put this on the front side. There we go. Well, there we go. Yep. Okay, fireworks were previously used to welcome the new year, but they were banned because burning embers were falling on the crowd. In 1907, a ball being lowered on a flagpole was a safer bet. Now we know how the ball came about. We're going to do this. Oh, did I put that one on the wrong way? I'm going to put this upside down anyway. Show you. I'll show you. And that one's a little shorter, go figure. That's why I went ahead and did the inking on the inside of these, just to make sure I didn't have an issue with that later. I'm kind of getting glue on the tippy of my edge there, but that's all right. So wartime restrictions put the tradition on pause in 1942 and 1943 during World War II. Times Square revelers observed a moment of silence instead at midnight. I'll get the word here. You know, joy in her words. Joy in her words. Do, 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 do. I'm going to put this toward the bottom. Oh, look. See, isn't that weird? It's like one side is bigger and the other side is smaller. That's what the more I do of these, the more I'm finding that out. So now you know. Just check them beforehand. That way you don't have an issue. Because this one was a little short. But I've got it covered because of my doing my thing, you know, my thing. All right. This one is all tangled up. Get over there. There we go. Hang on. We're going to see if it lays straight. It does. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Why do I do that toward that end? And then because I'm trying to get the end that is, whoops. Psh. It's fine. There we go. Put it on this side. And then get me another jump ring. Let's see. Okay, the original, this was crazy. Oh, I got a putty hair there. Meow. He's ready for his lunch. He was bad, so I put him in his crate. And he's patiently waiting for me to be done. And I don't care because he was really being a stinker. I had to redo my video because of him. Yes, I did. Let's use this. Oops. Here we go. These little things just go everywhere. They really do. All right, you get over here and you get over there. If you guys like what I'm doing here, I would appreciate if you give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more from me, just subscribe, and then you can ring the bell. If you choose all notifications, you'll get everything that I post. Sometimes I put a post, sometimes I do lives, and sometimes I just post a video like I am now. So, there you go. So, the original ball was made from 700 pounds of iron. It was later reduced to just 400 pounds of wrought iron before they switched it to an aluminum frame in 1955. The now 11,875-pound ball didn't get its new look and materials. Wait a minute, sorry. Its new look and materials until the millennium when the Waterford partnered with Philips Lighting to create a shimmery LED display. I remember when they did that. I was so bummed out because it just looks, it wasn't the same, you know. It wasn't the same. I really liked it the other way, but it's okay. These are fairly easy and fun, so if you guys do some of them, let me know. Show me a picture. I like to see them. I like to see how you do your dangles. Let me put that a little low, a little high. There we go. All right, the sphere is made up of 2,688 crystal triangles, and it has over 32,000 lights, and it displays 16 million, I was like blown away by that, color patterns. Ooh, we ought to do something on the Las Vegas thingamajigger. Find out all the fun stuff it can do. I bet it's got New York beaten by the whistle here, you know. I bet it does. All right, where's another one? That's not hanging straight. We're going to do it on this side. There we go. Clip up. Oh, darn it. Sorry, I've got ink on my fingers from doing these. And you know how it doesn't like to come off very well. I did buy some cleaner, and you know what? I put it up here. Why would I do that? My sink is downstairs. That's so dumb of me. Oh well, I didn't claim to be a smart woman, did I? No, you didn't, Joy. Oh, it's hanging. No, it isn't. Okay, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. All right, we're down to the wire here. Instead of a ball, other states ring in the new year with other objects. For instance, Miami, Florida, what are they known for? They're oranges, so they do a big orange. And Key West, Florida has a drag queen that descends with a shoe, like Cinderella. That's funny. In Hershey, Pennsylvania, I would love to see that. Drops a giant kiss. Not drops this like Joy just did, but drops a kiss. I always wanted to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania. I was always a chocolate person, so yummy. All right, I think I'm going to make this the last one I do because I'm sure I'm boring you to death. But here's what they look like, the ones I've done so far. And one last little fact is that the New York kiss, the kiss at midnight, that started by ancient Romans. They're credited with the kissing tradition because of their Saturnalia festival. I hope I said that right. And it was a celebration honoring Saturn. Oh, this one went through the hole. Look at that. It'll be fine. There it is. Oop, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Anyway, she'll flip over. It was a celebration honoring Saturn, the god of time, where all social norms went out the window. So now you know all you ever wanted to know about. Look at that. Come on with your bad self. There you go. And then we have this one. Oh, they sound so fun, don't they? I just love the sound of these. And I have a few more to make, but I will do that on my own. I do thank you for being here. And again, like, subscribe, ring the bell, choose all the notifications. I will see you next time. Have a great day, and remember your day is full of choices, so choose joy. We'll see you next time.